English translation 415th contact. Saturday, 15th April 2006, 16:15 hours.
Two of you, nice. Be heartily welcome. It gladdens me to see you.
Thank you for your welcome. Be greeted. For my part, I am here because I have arranged what was promised in the meditation center. The modification has been carried out, which is why, with regard to the beginning of meditation for the core group members, a new formulation has to be undertaken, which I want to formulate as follows. Beginning of the duty to meditate. Starting 15th April 2006, there is a free choice for the beginning of meditation with regard to the time for the first entry into the Sohar Center meditation, whereby the old rule of the time-dependent admission obligation for the meditation is cancelled, which has a retroactive validity back to the 6th of January 1995. Future meditation recordings can therefore be chosen at will and are no longer tied with regard to the time of the 6-month period.
Quetzal, the 15th of April, 2006. With that, I have already said everything in this respect.
So I come to speak and greet you, my friend. It was a pleasure for me to carry out correction work with Bernadette and you again today. As I see, do you have some notes here that probably contain questions?
That is indeed the case, and if your time allows it, then I would like to put them forward.
If it will not take too long, because we still want to talk to you a little more privately.
No, there are not many questions.
Then please.
There have been some television shows about Christian relics for which I would like to know what is true about them. The first question relates to the legendary Grail, a vessel Joseph of Arimathea is said to have used to catch Emmanuel's blood at the crucifixion. This goblet is supposed to work wonders and make one immortal as well as heal all sicknesses and evils, etc.
This is absolute nonsense, for neither does such a Grail exist, nor has Joseph of Arimathea caught the blood of Emmanuel in a vessel. That, however, no other human being has done either.
This senseless claim was invented fictitiously centuries after the event of the crucifixion, namely by members of a sect that emerged from Emmanuel's already early falsified teaching. And the fact that no blood of Emmanuel was caught in a vessel, rather that the little blood that Emmanuel lost dripped to the ground and seeped away, is perfectly certain, because this was recorded in our annals by the personality of that time, Gabriel, the procreating father of Emmanuel. He was direct eyewitness of the real event.
Interesting. I did not know that. Then the second question. Do you know the story regarding a holy lance that was said to have been used to stab Emmanuel in the loin on the cross?
Also, this nonsense is known to us.
It is claimed that whoever possesses this lance, that is to say, the tip of the lance, should be imparted invincibility. The lance is supposed to have supernatural powers. According to the claim, a Roman soldier is said to have stabbed Emmanuel with this tip of the lance, which is why his blood is supposed to stick to it. This tip of the lance is also said to confer great power on the owner, which is why Hitler was also eager to get hold of the lance, as was the case with other rulers, despots and dictators, among them also kings and emperors.
This tip of the lance is a forgery from the 8th century after Emmanuel. However, in truth, there are still further such forgeries, which were made in the course of the time. In 1354, Pope Innocent VI, who was in place from 1352 to 1362, declared the 8th century tip of the lance to be the Holy Lance, with the claim that it was indeed the lance with which Emmanuel was stabbed in the loin. Truthfully, the forgery is a piece made from a lance used in combat actions, which, however, was not yet hand-forged at the time of Emmanuel, Consequently, he could also have never been touched by it.
That too was said in the television program. Okay, then still the question about the shroud, the so-called Shroud of Turin, which is claimed to be a shroud that carries the image of Emmanuel alias Jesus. However, about this you once told me that it would be an image of an Italian merchant.
That is correct, because the shroud does not show the image of Emmanuel, but that of a merchant from Turin, Italy, called Caesar Canova. The shroud was made by the brother of the deceased, Luciano Canova, an alchemist. The process took place on the 7th of June, 1324, and lasted until the 10th of June, that is to say, 4 days. During this, the procedure was not such that the shroud was placed on the deceased and the latter was rubbed with chemicals, as is often claimed, but it was a very early form of photography, whereby the corpse was placed vertically in front of a large glass lens, through which the image was then projected for 4 days through an effect of sunlight onto a large fabric surface soaked in chemicals in a dark room. After which the shroud was then treated with silver nitrate and the image became in that way visible and retained.
That too was found out.
The earthly scientists will solve many other old mysteries and lift secrets.
Which is especially desirable in relation to the lousy religious machinations. This too contributes over time to exposing the religions as lies. But these were actually all my questions, so that now we can turn to the private things.
Let me then tell you the following.